Question of the day is, do you lose your club name if you were to leave your motorcycle club or get thrown out? And that's a good question. And, so this is my take on that. So many of the guys I have known throughout my time that were once members of my motorcycle club, the Black Sabbath, and got thrown out or left or quit or moved on, whatever the case may be. Most of those guys kept their names. Like our club didn't have anything in our bylaws that said, hey, you leave us and you lose your name, which is kind of interesting since the club gives you your name. And when you leave the club or if the club kicks you out or something like that, you're supposed to give back everything. It would be kind of interesting that you would it would make sense that you would have to give the name back too. And you could no longer be called Black Dragon or whatever the case may be. But I have seen a name transcend, it become part of a person's character. There was a guy that when he came to us, everybody called him Glockster because he sold guns and Glock was his favorite gun and everything. But this guy was so by the book that one time I asked him to do something for me. I wanted him to kick in my window, go in my house, go in my garage and get my trailer and bring it to me. I was broken down on the side of the road. And this guy went through all kinds of crap, man. He wanted to talk to the neighborhood watch captain and the manager of the neighborhood and the property and all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, bro, nobody's going to notice you kicking in the window and going and getting my, but he just wanted to do it all by the book. So I started calling him by the book. And his name went from Glockster to by the book. And a few years later, when he left the Black Sabbath to become an independent, to this day, everybody calls him by the book because it matches his personality and it's who he is. He's by the book, and he will always and forever be known as that. But there have been other guys that have left the club, and when they get to their new clubs, especially guys we've had that went to 1%er nations, they get a whole different name. So we once had a guy that we called Little Big Mac, and then when he went to the 1% nation, they renamed him Killer B. Well, I don't know what he had to do to get the name Killer B, but that's what they named him. And no longer was he known by the name he was known by in the club, although we still called him that. But he was known to the world as Killer B once he found his new club. And I don't know, maybe he killed a whole bunch of bees. Who knows? But that's what happened in that situation. So most people I know, like if you get to know somebody by a name on the set all over the world, unless he wants to change his name or it's in your bylaws or something like that, in most cases, I think people keep their names. So I hope that answered your question. Thanks for tuning in. And you can get my t-shirts at blackdragonsgear.com. Don't forget. Capiche?